welcome to another stream on the channel. And tomorrow we have a game between two teams near the top of the table, or in Porto's case, are at the top. This fixture does hold a ace in me because the very first Porto game I went to was Porto versus Braga last season, and I was also started becoming familiar with these two sides when they played each other in the Europa League final 14 years ago. And joining me to discuss this game is a fan of the show, Samir. Welcome on.
Thank you very much.
So, as usual, starting on the Porto end, and it was good to get that win away at Moreirense, having had two results in three that did go a bit disappointingly. And as I said in my review, I thought Moreirense actually played a game, especially in the first half. Second half, they didn't have many chances, but when they did have chances, they made them count. Well, they looked effective with them. For Porto, they just, how do I put it? They didn't. They found it hard to resist them in the first half, and I'm not sure Porto were in the game until about the last 5 minutes of the first half, when they started with some chances. Samu, of course, converted that penalty, and then I think the game changed from there. Porto did look a lot more controlling, and then of course later on, Dennis School with a late equaliser. I believe his first since Vitor Bruno was playing. So, Samir, what were your thoughts on that win away at Moreirense?
Well, yeah, I was really happy because it gave everyone the confidence back, especially after the Nottingham Forest loss, because that was the first loss ever under Farioli. So it's good to get confidence back for the outcome game against Braga.
Very much true. And as this is your first time on the channel, what have you thought of Porto this season?
So far, I'm really impressed. They've done much better than last season, because last season was a mess under Vitor Bruno. Then it got a little better with Martin Salmi, but then they collapsed in the Club World Cup. And so from there, Farioli, they've been really consistent in the League, Cups, Europa League. So I think in a giant transfer window, they just need to sign probably a centre back, in my opinion.
Yes, well, definitely for the most part, it has been a very good season. And this is the first time I've gone live since previewing that Nottingham Forest game, which I was at, and neither side tested each other's goalkeepers enough. But the first one was quite a questionable one.
I remember.
I'm not sure if it was enough of a handball, and I think I could make an argument that Samu became onside with that deflection in or Bednarek's goal, and Yeah, the second penalty is definitely a penalty. The way Martin Fernandez leaves his leg out. But certainly good to be back home and what will be, of course, favourites for this. I'm also going to have a look at the situation on the injuries and suspensions for Porto. To my knowledge, okay, just got it up now. To my knowledge, only Perez and De Jong are out at the moment. So, yeah, and then of course back in the Europa League next Thursday, and I'll get a video preview sorted for that, and we will have a special guest on to talk about things of the opposition, Utrecht. But let's have a look at Braga now. Currently got off to an okay start. Of course, the player to look out for them is Ricardo Horta. I'm just getting up their details now. Currently 7th in the league with 3 wins, 4 draws, and 2 defeats. Recently, they beaten Santa Clara in the Taça da Liga, Red Star Belgrade in the Europa League, and most recently in the league, they won 4-0 against Casapia. I'm sure they'll be a bit higher in the table later in the season, but from what I have seen so far, it has been a better season than last season, despite some of those inconsistencies. Just get my screen back up now. So currently 7th in the table, as mentioned. And they also they managed to get a draw away at Sporting CPE. That's probably one of the highlight results so far. Samia, have you seen much of Braga this season, or what are your thoughts on them or some of the players they've got?
Not too much, but they've, yeah, like you said, they've done okay. I also remember when they had a really good season under the striker Vitor. This was during 2021. And in my opinion, if they kept him, they could have had a chance to win the league because he's really inconsistent. I remember he scored a hat trick in the Europa League.
Yeah. So they're also trying to get up their team, so or their squad. So just gonna have a bit of an overview on some of the players. But I'm sure they'll want to be higher in the table. But though I think they will take a draw for this game. As for some of their other players, as well as Horta, there are a few returning faces to that at Porto team. João Moutinho, who won the Europa League with Porto in the last decade. Also, Fran Navarro, he was at Porto, although didn't get many opportunities under Sergio Conceição and Vitor Bruno. And some of the other players I don't really know much about. So yeah, Paulo Oliveira had played in for the Portuguese national team before, as well as Sporting CP. I'll get their possible team up when we go to the lineup section of the conversation. But actually doing good on time. Probably should be some more to mention in regards to these teams. Sammy, how long were you thinking of being on here for?
Maybe till 10:30.
Yeah, okay, 10:30. Yeah. So let's get on to previewing the game. I do expect Porto to have most of the ball, have most of the chances. It'll be interesting to see how Braga do adapt to as a team that will be more defensive and not get so many chances, but will have to take the chances that they get. But to be fair, they did manage to keep it tight against Sporting CP. They get a penalty right at the end and managed to nick a result. And they will look to probably do that or maybe go one better. And who knows? Unlikely, but they might just go on and get at the win. How do you expect this game to go down? Like, what do you think will happen without giving like your kind of score predictions or anything like that? How do you think the game's going to look from both sides?
Yeah, I think also builds up possession for Porto and a very tight game. And maybe they could score one goal. I remember they used to win a lot in the Cups. Like in the 2020, I think it was the League Cup. So they used to be our bogey team before.
Yeah, and they did manage to get at a win away. No, not away. Well, away for us. They managed to win in last season. Just having a look at some of their past away performances. Apart from Braga in the Taça de Portugal, last time they played away was to Sporting CP back in on the 5th of October. So I don't know how much that will play into Braga being used to who are playing away, having played 3 home games in a row. But yeah, I'm thinking we'll probably see Porto have about 75% of the chances. We are getting a bit better at trying to break down low blocks. Benfica started to seem to set a trend, or what was it? It might have been. I was going to say it might have been Red Bull Salzburg or Red Belgrade, but I wouldn't quite say that. But Benfica set up in a low block, and then some other teams started to do that, and it's had a bit of success. You could probably say the same for Nottingham Forest. But at the same time, with players like Horta, they do have the ability to convert their chances and they get them. So, any other thoughts in regards to the preview?
hopefully no awful fair decisions from the referee.
Yeah, that's a good point. So on to the lineup section of the preview, and as mentioned earlier, Nurhan Perez and Luke de Jong still won't be available for selection. Samir, I'll come to what you think the lineup will be soon. I'll go first in case you need a bit of time. Diogo Costa in goal. My knowledge, Alberto Costa should be fine, and I think he'll play. And then Bednarek and Ivy are the two Polish defenders to start at centre back. Francisco Mora at left back. And then Victor Froho, Alan Varela, and then you could make an argument for any one of Pablo Rosario, Gabri Veiga, or Rodrigo Mora. I think it will probably be Gabri Veiga because I think Farioli will try and go for the strongest lineup possible. And now on the right side, there's a case to perhaps drop Pepe, given the fact that he's has been struggling in front of goal. I mean, I did see in the first half he did make a good recovery challenge, so there is competition there, but I'm actually going to predict it that William Gomez starts this time. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he stuck with Pepe. I'll say Boyasine starts on the left, and then Samu at striker. So I think that's one change from the win against Moreirense. Samir, what's the 11 you think that Farioli is going to start with tomorrow?
I would go for the same as you. Dio Costa, Albert Costa, Bednarek, Kivior, Mora, and then Varela and Froholt, and then Vega, and then Gomez, and then Sainz, and then Samu.
Okay. So same as me, and for the Braga lineup, I will get up their lineups from the past two games. So actually, I'm not sure how seriously they would have taken the Taça de Liga. So and against Santa Clara, so I won't read too much into that. So I'll screen share the lineup they put out against Casapia, and the same for the Red Star Belgrade game, and afterwards I'll go through any comments that cut and then we got the score prediction segment to look over to. This is a lineup that I suppose we can have a rough expectation of 3-4-3, and given the goal scoring form of not only Braga in this game, but against Santa Clara and against Red Star Belgrade, to mention in other two recent examples, would imagine these players will start if available. And of course, the midfield and defence are the spine of the team. And so I would expect them to play, and plus the goalkeeper too. I'll see if they've made any if the lineup was any different. Okay, Fran Navarro and João Moutinho were playing. So I'll check one other game just to see if they do play a. You're thinking about. I think they'll probably play a 4-3-3 so they can match Porto down the flanks and in midfield. Wrong game, but let's see. See what they do. He put out against 4-4-2. Okay, granted the these lineups may not be accurate formation wise, but we can still get an idea. Let's see how they did against Sporting. Let's see what they lined up with against Sporting CP. I'm going a bit too far. Where are they? Where is it? Over here. So they went for 4-3-3. And Horta, Moutinho, Carvalho, and some of the others were there. Would probably expect this front three, and maybe Moutinho. Gomez, I've seen his name appear a few times, but yeah, we've done our lineups. We've had a look at what Braga may put out. I imagine formation-wise they'll probably adapt, given that according to Google speculation, they have been changing up their formation a bit. But let's get on to the score predictions. And Samir, I'll go to you first. What's your prediction for this game?
I'd say 2 to Porto, Samu and Vega. And then for Braga, Ricardo Horta.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna say Porto win this 2-0. And having seen Braga scoring quite a lot, it won't be easy. But I think having the home advantage and having most of the possession and the chances. Now, if Braga were to hit Porto on the counter attack and target the space of Kiviar and Bednarek, that could be a worry. But I think Porto will be stable enough to keep out Braga. I'm thinking 2-0. I haven't really thought about the goal scorers, but I have a feeling Froholt will come up with at least one assist. It'll probably be Samu and maybe William Gomez to score. And that could be even if William Gomez was to come on as a sub. But yeah. Thanks for. We're gonna start to wrap it up there. And thanks for coming on, Samir. Any final thoughts?
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's my first stream ever, and it's really fun.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Is there anything you'd like to promote before or we head out?
Yeah, my Instagram. It's SamirHussain26.
I'll get at Is that it?
Yeah.
Is there any capitals in there, or is it exactly like that?
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay, great. So yeah, check out. You can check out Sammy's Instagram here. My socials are in the link it in the description, and we'll most likely be going. Our next live I haven't really looked at the schedule too much for Porto, but I'll just check up on that now. I will come out with a probably a shorts review depending on what happens in the game, and then I'll also, what will I do? I should be able to come out with a video for the Utrecht game before Thursday, and then I might go live for the Nice game in the Europa League if I can find a fan for that. But yeah, I know we got the international break coming up. Sometime after the Familiar Cow game. So there's not a lot of games in November, but yeah, thanks to everyone for joining and watching on the replay. And as always, all interaction and support very much goes a long way for the channel. And I think the next video should come out tomorrow as I reflect on the Braga game. But until next time, Forza Porto.